Good morning, everybody. TGIF. Happy Friday. It is a beautiful morning out here on Oneida Lake. I've had a pretty fun morning, too. It's been, I've been putting the rods to work today. It feels good, too. I've only had one keeper walleye, but I've had about 15. Some really big perch and a giant, I mean, he was bigger than my hand, sunfish. He had a forehead on him and a double chin. Holy cow, was he big. So, it's flat calm, as you can see behind me. Flatty flat. Flat. But that has not deterred me one bit. What little bit of breeze I've got, I found these fish on the edge of the channel. There's one. Oh! So because I'm getting ready to be done for the day, so I'm giving all the rods that I've got out on the deck, I'm giving them another 5 casts. All right. So this is just a jig and a plastic. No tail on it, no nothing. I'm just snapping it. Controlled snap. It's probably only going 6-8 inches off the bottom. That was cast number 3. First cast, I had a big perch that I just let go. That was second cast. I just stuck one and lost it. We'll see third cast. So I've been cycling through. I've caught fish on 4 baits today. This jig and a plastic, an I-1 blade bait, which I'll show you here shortly, and a shiver minnow, which is kind of tailed off for me now. It's a color Eric Wisniewski showed me a couple weeks ago that he was doing really well on. Oh, Matthew, when you feel it, you've got to stick it. Stick it just a little. That's probably not the words, but. So yeah, nice Friday morning. It's beautiful out here. Water temp, 58 degrees. Cold and steady. It's been below 60 now for the better part of this week. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I don't think it's going to get any warmer. We don't have any warm up in the future, nor should we, really. I can tell you, if you're a perch fisherman, I don't know what the middle and the east end of the lake is like, but I can tell you the west end is full. If you want to fill your freezer, this would probably be a great weekend to do it. Out here where I am right at the moment, I have been seeing clouds of bait, which don't look like perch unless they're really, really little. Is this the 4th cast or 5th cast? I don't remember. If I don't do anything on this cast, I'll call it done and I'll switch over. I've seen a lot of bait, real tight balls. I got live scope down and I'm just scanning. I'm not really. This will be something we get into at another time. I'm not really fishing the live scope, like watching my lure on a specific fish. I'm more right now using it to scan. I've got it out as far as it will go. I think some of these are perch because it's just filthy with fish down here. This is the best picture I've had in weeks. I called a buddy of mine this morning who smacked them around pretty good yesterday. A lot of shorts, though. And there's one. Oh, look at the size of this jumbo. Oh my God, look at the size of this thing. Oh, that is a tank for this lake. Let's see what he weighs. It's 11.5 inches. Look at how fat he is. This guy is so thankful right now that my name's not Terry Wicks, because he'd be in the cooler. That was fun. Man, he smacked that too. Smacked it. All right, I'm going to retire this. You're going to ask me what this is. I don't remember. That's either a net bait or a jackal. It's a drop shot bait, but I threw it on. I threw it on a jig head, and I'm just popping it along the bottom. Let's see what's up next. The old swim bait. Kitech. That is a shad pattern. Now I will tell you, I throw in my swim baits on the lightest rod I've got. This is the JT Outdoors JT rods. This is the Panhandler 7-foot ultralight. It's a panfish rod, perch, sunfish, bluegills, crappie, that kind of thing. I love throwing a swim bait on it because it's so nice and light, and it's just so much fun. You get a nice smallmouth or a good walleye on, and it really maxes this rod out. But it's just so much fun to fish it like this. Well, there goes my GoPro. This is probably, I shouldn't say my favorite rod, but I love fishing this ultralight rod. It is so much fun. I have really enjoyed it. And the next 2 months, when the swim bait bite is just to die for, man, is it going to be awesome. So this is cast number 1 with this swim bait. I've had 3 or 4 walleyes on it already this morning. The one keeper I had was 19.5, big fat fish, man. He had shoulders on him and a chest, but he was super pale. I say he, I don't know, he or she. He was very pale white, really gray white, no gold in him really at all beat up. His tail and his dorsal fin were all mangled, like he'd been fighting, like he just finished spawning, or she. Not really sure why, but what I will say sometimes, and it's funny, the swim bait rod doesn't necessarily translate to good TV, because I'm reeling it extremely slow. I'm just making that tail move, but I'm going to show you what I'm looking at right here on live scope. I'm going to turn you guys around for one. See that? I've been seeing that all morning long. Some of it are schools of perch. Some of it is bait. There's predator. And the more and more I fish it, like anything else, you can really start to differentiate size. Now, some people will tell you can tell what species it is by how it marks or how it behaves. I'm sure that's the case, and I assume that the farther on I get with this technology and this equipment, the better it'll be to understanding what I'm really looking at. But those schools of bait I just showed you, like, that's bait, because I've used this perch fishing already, and the perch tend to not cluster so tightly that I've seen, and they tend to spread out more and higher through the water column. A lot of these groups of minnows or bait I've seen today are really tight. So that's why it makes me think that they're not perch, which also makes me believe that that's why, without that, because the farther west you go, my God, you get in 15 foot of water off a night of shores, and there's just it. I don't think you could get a fathead to the bottom if you wanted to. Something's going to eat it. Those guys have been just tuning them in there. Well, there was one right there. But that was a perch bite on a swim bait. You can tell they're tap, 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 tap. If that was a walleye or if that was a smallmouth, you just lose feeling. Because they come up behind it and they go, and they suck it right in and they keep right on swimming. I'm going to put him away. And we're going to go, we got 2 contestants left in today's game of The Fish is Right. Thank you for joining me today. I'll be your host, Matt Barker. Oh, there goes my perch. So this is the shiver minnow that Mr. Whiz himself showed me. And I even thought about calling it the Whiz, so everybody knows what color. If I tell you, where'd you get him on? I got him on a Whiz colored shiver minnow. That's what it is. Oh, I got a monster. I got a monster. I got a monster. Come off of there. Well, we're 1 for 1 on the Whiz. It was chilly this morning. I really dressed up. But that sun is beautiful. Clear, crystal clear blue skies. Absolutely gorgeous October morning out here today. For all you duck hunting friends of mine out there, if you're looking for your... I'm going to start doing our duck updates too. They're mixed. Oh, that was a small walleye, about 10, 12 inches. He just come off when I tried to lift him into the boat. A lot of fish in this spot. It's on the edge of the flat. You know, where the flat meets the channel, it goes deeper to the east. It goes a little deeper to the south. This is the best picture I've seen in weeks. Again, I'm not... There's one. Oh, that one feels a little better. Boy, he picked it up as soon as I almost hole-in-one'd him right there. What is it? What is it? Another small walleye. Oh. Incoming. I don't know how he came off, because when I lifted him out of the water, he had the whole treble hook in his mouth. Because as soon as I lifted it like this and it was falling, you could feel it go dong, like that. So what, the Whiz is 3 for 3 right now, I think, right? Eric will be so happy to hear that. I love it. I love it. Oh, so anyways, ducks. Duck, 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 duck. Goose. I say the duck report because if you're a duck hunter, I'll tell you what I see in the mornings, because I love looking, and I am a duck hunter, or at least I was. And in the fall out here every morning, you never know what you're going to see. And I pay attention. I've been seeing divers down here, and now early divers are typically ringnecks, and that's what these birds were this morning. All of a sudden, I swear to God, there was a jet coming at me, and it was loud. Of course, it's flat, calm, and super quiet out here. And I looked like this, and I almost kind of ducked, and I looked, and there was a flock of ringnecks coming at me. They must have been 50 strong, and they sounded just like a little jet engine. It was amazing. So some of the divers are starting to scoot down. I mean, it's still early. You shouldn't see your first real big push for another couple weeks at least. Usually it's after Halloween, between there and Thanksgiving. You can hear them in the background. I'm starting to see some geese. Not tons, but I'm starting to see them. That's the first cast on the whiz without a fish. I got a ton of them on the screen though. This will be my last cast with the whiz, and then I'll show you Mike Urima's one of his newest creations. He gave me the other day. Boy, it's a good looking perch pattern. And they loved it this morning. That keeper that I had was on that, and throttled it too. Like it wasn't a soft squishy bite. It was a thunk like that. I threw the A-rig this morning too for a while. I didn't get bit on that. I was throwing the brown dog tackle. Ian Renfrew, my buddy, stopped and dropped me off one the other day. And I threw that for about a half an hour this morning. Now, I think that's more, honestly, I think that's more a result of not enough large predators in the area. I probably missed a little perch. He was right below me. And so my buddy Scott Dakota said to me last night, he goes, why do you think we're catching so many shorts this year? And I said, well, we have a real strong year class, which is true. It's a true statement. And then he said, so you think that the smaller fish are getting to the baits sooner than the big fish? And I do think that. And that is always what happens in anything. Any perch fisherman will tell you really got to either upsize your baits or do some different things, or if you're on live scope, you got to try and keep it away from the little ones and keep it, and give the big ones a chance. And it does seem a little counterintuitive to think that the smallest fish in the group would be the most aggressive. You would think they would be worried that, I don't know, they're going to get eaten if they expose themselves, but that's not the case. They see it, they eat it. But Scott said to me, he goes, do you think it's because, we're in the second year now of the 10 or 5 fish limit? Another nice perch. Perch on perch action. So there's that new color blade of Mike's. Now see how much yellow is in that? I love that. And so did he. When those perch eat it and they've got the whole treble in their mouth, they were 100% committed. Ow. Man, they're sharp. I don't know if there's anything sharper in the world than a yellow perch gill rakers. Holy cow. And Scott said to me, he goes, do you think it's because of the 5 fish limit? And I think what he was getting at was that the 5 fish limit, people have kept more keepers, and now our lake is deficient in keeper size, and we only have younger year classes. I don't know. I mean, my first thought is I don't know that makes a difference. I mean, the state and Cornell and the science behind it. I'm not somebody that says, you should trust the government, but I believe the science that the people at Cornell do, the hatchery people. I believe that our state leadership has our fisheries' best interest in mind. When I was growing up, and a lot of us, limit was 10. I've always been told, and even when I talked to Tony Vandervalk this spring before Walleye Fest, the old rule of thumb that I'd always heard, no matter who it was, is you can never fish out a fishery on hook and line. Sport fishing, hook and line. If you were going to net, if you were going to do something else crazy, sure, maybe. But that's a pretty standard rule of thumb. I don't think limits matter. Honestly, if it was up to me, I would say no seasons and no limits. Because I just don't think I don't think there's enough people out here that could catch enough fish in any given day or season to really do damage. That's just not the way it is. I don't think. So everybody is welcome to put their comments below, as long as they're respectful, which everybody always is. As long as they're respectful of other people's opinions, I don't really think it matters. I really don't think it matters. The coming years look like they're going to be outstanding. We have had no shortage of shorts this year. And listen, Scott's right. I've never caught this many shorts in my life out here. Last year, I would say our ratio was 7-1, keepers to shorts. This year, I bet you it's the opposite. I don't keep many fish, so I don't really keep track of that. Like how many keepers I have or anything. But I know just from being out here every day that I have not caught nearly the quality size fish that I have. Man, these perch love this perch blade. Come right off. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's the second fish today to shit on me or my boat. That's ridiculous, absurd. I'm letting him go. Don't shit on me. I'm letting you go. I'll show you this again. I'm not sure what Mike's calling that, but I would call that the lemon lime perch. If I was somebody that liked to put names on things, like Homie, Chester Copperpot, who has not made an appearance in quite a long time. Chester has not. I did fish Homie this morning. He didn't get bit. Of course, I was farther west, and I didn't see the picture like I have out here. Excuse me. But still, if I was fishing for a meal today, I had a big walleye. I've had plenty of perch to stick, 15, 20 good sized perch that I would have kept over 9 inches. And that monster sunfish. And I'm fishing all artificial. I'm not throwing any bait, anything like that. So if you were a guy coming out and saying, hey, I'd like to get a little mess of fish, and boy, what a nice mix, what a nice mixed bag that our lake, our bountiful, plentiful lake has to offer. Everybody has different expectations. I like to come out and catch fish. just like this one. Hold on, I'll show you. Ba-bam! Another one. Look at how pale he is. White, gray looking almost. If I didn't know, I'm going to measure him. 17 inches. It looks just like, now look at how this tail's all beat up. Remember I told you that other big one I had this morning? Same thing. You can see right through that. Hey, beautiful. That's where he had it, right there. There he goes. I think we're going to end it on a high note right there. I think we're going to end it on a high note. I want to thank you all for joining me. I was long-winded today. I haven't had a ton to talk about in the last, especially this week. So I haven't. I put a new video out last night, a new highlight reels. We have some exciting stuff coming up. I've got to get out and about. I still have not made it back up to the St. Lawrence River to chase those big smallmouth and walleyes. I will, possibly this weekend. So stay tuned. If you're here, if you enjoy it, if you've stayed this long, please subscribe. Hit the like button. Tell your friends. It's free. Not much is this good that's free. So just saying. All right. I love you guys. I'm getting out of here. Have a great Friday. And if you don't tune in this weekend, well, but have a great weekend. Love you guys. Keep your tip up.